Hey, welcome back to the website WOD. This is Adam Case with Bright Coconut, and today what I want to talk to you about is design in the sense of really like what's possible and how do you get where you want to go. Okay? The reason I bring this up is because when I work with people, typically most business owners should come to me. You have your gym, you have your training practice, and you say, I know I need a website, but I don't exactly know what I want. Because you're not a designer necessarily. Chances are, if you're a designer, you're not watching this. But you're not a designer. You don't live in the world of design, so you're not usually thinking about all these things you want to put on your site and all these ways that you want to make your site work and look and all this kind of stuff. You just know you want a good, clean site that works. And that's what I'm here for. So what I usually do when I start working with people is I ask them, give me a list of a few sites that you like, that you've seen, that you enjoy being on, that you think are doing it well. And then I'll start you off with a good premium theme, and we'll work towards customizing it however you want to customize it, right? And the reason I do that is multifold, and that's because I used to start off just designing from scratch, which a lot of people do, just starting with a completely blank template. And a lot of designers say, hey man, that's like the only way to start. And it's not. It's the most expensive and longest road that you can take because if you build anything from scratch, you have to do a lot of testing, cross-browser, cross-platform. You got to build the simplest, easiest things from scratch. And I personally don't feel good charging people for that kind of stuff. So what I like to do instead is start from something that's already good and then tweak it to even better or tweak it to even more unique, right? And it saves a lot of time, saves a lot of hassle. Anyways, that's how I roll. So what I want to show you today is an example of a theme and then where you can end up from it. And I'm not choosing the most outlandish, wild example. I'm trying to just show you a recent, clean one. So here's an example from a company called WOD Themes, which I love. I use them for the vast majority of my sites. They don't over-design their themes. Their themes are, I think, great starting points. But they're coded brilliantly, and they're one of the top theme foundries out there. So here's a theme called Apps, and it wasn't built for a business in the sense of showcasing a business. It wasn't even built as a blog or a magazine style theme. It was built to show off an iPhone app. It's really what it was about. But when you're familiar with themes, you can start to see that what you have here, yes, is something that's app specific in the demo, but what you really have is a nice full width slider. You have a place here for videos to pop off, and then you have widget area, you have little blog excerpts, and you have a contact form, which when you think about for a fitness professional is not a bad idea. You could have a slider up here for the content showing off your clients, showing off your box, showing off the stuff that you do, easily accessible media area to show videos about what CrossFit's all about or things that are going on in your box. Widgets you can do pretty much just about anything with. Chances are if you're a fitness professional, you've got a blog going, so there you go. And then a contact form so people can get a hold of you easily. I mean, it's actually a really great idea. It's a really great template for a CrossFit or fitness-based professional. So I worked with David Buckley, who's Interwest CrossFit down in Australia. There's Dave. And we're using the apps theme for his site. And right away, I'm sure you can see a few similarities. But what I want to do is take you back and forth between the original and what we have done with it, so you can see, what to ask for if you're getting a site done. Because a lot of people, they say, oh, well, I found this theme. I like this theme. Now what do I do? Okay, so here's what we did. You can see right away, we expanded this top header area by putting his logo in there and putting his his main navigation up top, because it just makes the most sense. The next thing we did was obviously colors. We matched the color of the background and everything here to the color of his logo, so there's a synonymous look to it. On one level it's like duh, but not everybody does that, and it's a good idea to do it. So another thing that we did that you might not think of right away, but if you'll notice on all these slides, these texts are different sizes, and obviously it doesn't start off that way. We customized all those so that number one, it was easy to read, and number two, so that the text would pop and stand out, and especially when there wasn't as much text as there was on others, stands out a bit more. So next thing we did was here this widgets area, and you'll notice in the original theme there's this widgets title over here, and then there's the blog title, and there's the contact title. And what this does is, for one, it obviously design-wise, it sets up a similarity as you go down, but also what it does is it limits you to 2 widget areas. And David asked, hey man, can I have 3? And I was like, sure, dude, we don't need something that says widgets area. I mean, give me a break. So what I did was, instead of having the little title and then 2 widgets, is we added another widget area. So these are now all 3 widget enabled areas. So he can change this out and put any kind of content he wants at any time in there. But what he has is something that's balanced instead of lopsided. And then the blog is pretty standard. Those are thumbnail images leading off to the blog, and this leads off to the main blog page. And then the contact form, David asked if, for number 1, could we get a phone number added in there? And also, he doesn't use Twitter, so we didn't want to use that. And can we get a map down here? And I was like, dude, absolutely. So phone field, no Twitter, link to a Google map. Okay, so that's how we did his homepage. Obviously, there's the color, matching and everything, so it looks like, one cohesive theme. Next thing we did is, here's a page in the apps theme, and basically you have a content area and you have your widgets area on the side, but then you also have some widget areas down below. And we realized, on most of his pages, it really doesn't need that many widgets. So instead, when Dave was building his pages, we use the full width template on this. So because you don't really need the sidebar over there, and it puts the focus more directly on the content. So if you're using kind of a cheapo like free theme, you're probably not going to have multiple page templates, but if you're using a good solid premium theme, it should. Any premium theme worth its salt is going to have a variety of page templates, and one of them should be a full width, so you can choose stuff that doesn't have a sidebar. Dexter. So that's what we did actually for all of his pages. All of his pages have that, because it's a darn good idea. That's why. So then over to the blog. Here's the apps template blog, just kind of straightforward, simple. Again, straightforward and clean. On the Inner West blog, just videos, posting the WODs, doing it like you should, just rocking along. We added a little navigation widget to make his scrolling back through blog posts a little bit easier, of course. But otherwise, standard good blog content, good sidebar content, useful stuff for people, multiple pages. But you can see how, rather than just ending up with a very simple, straightforward, clean, and good-looking theme, of course, but with a little bit of extra customization, and really, it did not take long to do this. And it was, it pays off in dividends, because he's got a custom, unique site now. So that's a little bit of what's possible, taking a theme to where you could take it. Again, there's a lot of other things that we could do with this site. You can always do tons of different stuff, but this is a way to get out the door for not a lot of money, because David kind of got taken to town by his old web designer and came to me saying, dude, I can't spend a lot, but I need something good. And he's really happy with the results, so I was happy to give it to him. So anyways, there's some examples, and hopefully it'll give you some ideas of things that you can do and tweak your site to make it look a little better, work a little better, give your readers a little bit more. All right, have a good one.